What's happening? It's Hill with Beats by DysFunk. We got a fun one today, so let's get it going.
Let's go!
All right, so check it out. I was doing some digging, found this soul sample, so this is what we're gonna chop up today. Sweet, so first we're gonna edit it down a little bit, get it normalized up so it's a little bit louder. All right, so now we just have it trimmed up, so it's just what we're wanting to work with. I use a little tap tempo tool on my phone to find the BPM, and then I kind of play with it to try to make it line up more with the grid as much as possible. This one I came up to, this sample is 83.22 beats per minute, is what I was finding. So now that we have that dialed in, now we're basically just gonna get to the chops, all right? All right, so I got my initial chops put in there, tightened them up a little bit. And now let's listen to that sample back real quick. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the live stretch on, right? Because I've got my BPM set to what we found it at, and I'm gonna put the live stretch on now, so it's gonna stretch and sit at the beat that I'm making here, and right, so this beat is at 90 BPM. So now that I've got that going on, right, and I've got my slices that I made and tightened up, now we're gonna play with it, play around with the chops. You can kind of see where I put the chops in here, right? All right. So now time to cook. Let's go. All right, so what I found in here is I found these pieces that I really liked. Right, so I wanted to give it a little jump to it, and I basically just used these 4 slices to cook up my verse, right? So the verse is gonna sound something like this. That was real sweet, but what I was finding in here too is I liked a little bit of right, some of that vocal in there. And that was sweet, but I don't want the whole song to sound the same, right? So you got to cook up some sort of hook part, some sort of change. I'm using these same ones, except not chopping them up as much. So I decided for a hook part that it would just be something simple like this. So that's gonna comprise the verse part and the hook part together. All right, so now that I got the sample chopped kind of the way I want it, it's time to add the drums. I was searching for some drums for a good sound of this song. I found some mixture from Deadly Drums. So I came up with 2 kick sounds that I like. This snare sound. It's got some good reverb at the end of it. Simple hi-hat. And then also, you know, gotta have some crashes. All right, so now that I chose my drum sounds, time to lay it out on the track, right? All right, so I haven't really taken as much time as I should on the bass for this song. I'll probably come back to it and try to add a better bass line or something like that. For right now, what I did though is a little trick sometimes you can do, and it worked out for this song. But I doubled the sample, so I created a double. And as you can see here, I put a 6-band EQ on it. I just put the low pass filter on it, rolled off the high end and bumped up the mids here. So that the high part of it is gone and you can only hear the low bass part. And then might not be able to hear it right now, but this is basically what we're gonna sound like, right? Get some of that low end from the sample just to kind of bump up that bass in it. All right, so now I got my sample chopped. I got a verse and a hook part, got the drums behind it and a bass behind it. Together it was sounding pretty dope, but I needed just something to kind of, you know, like bring it in also for maybe when second verses come. So I took the crash that was in the drums and I reversed it so that we could have something that kind of pops in like this. That's gonna bring it home, really get the beat going, right? All right, so we got all the pieces, put them all together. Sounds like this.